Hey good people, and welcome back to the channel. The other day, I had the opportunity to check out a new Tubi movie called When Her Walls Talk, and if I had to rate the movie on a scale of 1 to 10, I'll give it a solid 5. I think that the movie had a lot of promise, and there was a lot of eye candy throughout the movie. But in my opinion, there are times when the movie loses focus due to all the stories that are going on, and that ending really pissed me off. So over the course of the review, I'll give a brief summary of the movie. I'll talk about some of the things that I liked, as well as some of the things that I did not like. So without any further delay, let's jump right in. The movie When Her Walls Talk primarily follows the main character, Dr. Max Bailey. You see, good people, Dr. Bailey is a nationally renowned therapist. She teaches children at Sunday school, and she's a pillar in her community. But there's one slight problem. Ever since Dr. Bailey got divorced from her husband, she's been generous with the goods. She's been charitable with the cheeks. Sister Bailey has been living recklessly while trying to maintain her impeccable public persona. Throughout this movie, Dr. Bailey meets with several clients, and every single one of her clients have engaged in sexual depravities, whether it be for revenge, for lust, for money, or for love. And by the end of the movie, Dr. Bailey's chickens finally come home to roost. So after watching this movie, I think that there were a number of things that the movie did very well. I like the overall acting performances from all the actors in the movie. Kia B as Dr. Bailey brought her natural charm and charisma to the movie, and she was the perfect person to lead a story like this. And I don't think that there were any weak links in the casting. I gotta give props to the production for the movie. From the set pieces to the stock footage for the city and to the sound editing, most of these things were on point and gave the movie a nice feel to it. Next, as I mentioned earlier in the review, there was an abundance of eye candy that was featured in the movie. Every woman in this movie was blessed and highly favored, if you catch my drift. They have assets galore, and the cameraman deserves a raise for his ability to capture those assets in the best angle and the proper lighting. And lastly, I was completely surprised by some of the storytelling for the movie. It doesn't take us as a viewing audience very long to know how much of a savage Dr. Bryant is. In one scene, she's talking to her pastor about teaching kids at Sunday school, and literally a few minutes later, she's letting some random dude at a gas station eat her out like it's his last supper, and this was done in front of a crowd of people. We also get some background stories for some of Dr. Bailey's clients, who are Candace, Mr. Murray, Erica, and Mary. They all come to Dr. Bailey with issues that they have experienced in their own relationships. All of these clients had something crazy going on. But if I had to pick the most memorable backstories, it would be from Candace, followed by Mary, Mr. Murray, and Erica in that order. Candace went well below the belt in order to get revenge on her husband, while Mary did the unthinkable to save her fiance's life. Mr. Murray was R. Kelly reincarnated, and Erica was a gold digger who knew what it felt like to have the roles reversed. All 4 stories showcased the type of storytelling that kept me glued to the TV screen. But unfortunately, there were some things that I did not like about the movie. My biggest issue with When Her Walls Talk is that it seems like the main character, Dr. Bailey, takes a backseat for most of the movie. And in taking a backseat, the movie mainly focuses on her clients and their issues. For me, there would be no problem with this structure if it were adapted into a TV series like The Dirty D or Street Legal. I think with a TV series, the story could focus on Dr. Bailey helping her clients while battling her own demons. But because this is made into a movie, there were times when Dr. Bailey's issues and her ability to help her clients gets lost in the storytelling, and we as the viewing audience are left with spin-off stories that seem to be in the movie for shock value. And because this was a movie instead of a TV series, it brings me to my next issue. There was little to no fleshing out of Dr. Bailey's character. Sure, through exposition, we learn that Dr. Bailey is having issues with her faith as she struggles to suppress her urges to have sex. But because Dr. Bailey is barely in the movie, some of those things are quickly forgotten, and I think that the movie would have worked a lot better if Dr. Bailey was fleshed out and we got to fully understand why she was willing to jeopardize her career and livelihood, all for some good tallywhacker smacker action. Another issue that I had with the movie was the ending. Towards the end of the movie, we learned that unbeknownst to Dr. Bailey, she was sleeping with Candace's husband, and earlier in the movie, Candace learned that her husband was cheating, and if you ask me, the revenge that she got on her husband made her more than even with her husband. But I don't understand why Candace wanted to kill her husband, and I don't understand why she wanted to take out Dr. Bailey. Towards the end, it was clear that Dr. Bailey didn't know that she was sleeping with Candace's husband, but the movie ended in a cliffhanger as Candace holds Dr. Bailey at gunpoint and the gun goes off. Now, there's supposed to be a part 2 to this movie, but I don't think that the story could continue with Dr. Bailey getting sent to the upper room. I believe that in the cliffhanger scene, Dr. Bailey may have wrestled the gun away from Candace and ended up shooting Candace. But my last issue with the movie was the sex scenes. If you've checked out any of my past reviews, then you know how I feel about seeing a movie with a lot of sex scenes. I wholeheartedly welcome these type of scenes in a movie, if and only if the scenes look realistic. Which means that if the actors aren't comfortable being fully nude or partially nude, then there's no sense of having the scene in the movie to begin with. In this movie, there were several scenes that you can tell the actors really didn't feel comfortable being in the nude. And in my opinion, that's their right, because it's not easy being nude on the screen. But as a viewer, it can be a little distracting to see a movie with a ton of sex scenes and no nudity. It's like being at a soul food festival, but learning that none of the food has any seasoning. Outside of those issues, the movie was just okay to me. I think that there are some folks that will love this movie, and I will still add this movie to my recommendation list because I think that some people will enjoy it. But this marks the end of my review. If you have any comments related to my review or the movie, feel free to leave them below in the comment section, and I'll be sure to reply to everybody. Until next time, stay tuned and stay safe. Peace.